video.
Mind you can't control, running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We gotta party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I'd start over now. Rewind. And I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Whoops, why is that up there? Okay. Hello, everyone. This thing is up and it's not supposed to be. 1 second. Why is it? That might have been from yesterday. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable. Thank you for spending it with me. Today is August 27th, 2024. It is 7:05 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, my pearls. Good to see you all. It is a hot one out here today. I don't know if it's hot where you're at, but it is a hot one here today. I want to thank our sweet Holly for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. Thank you, sweet Holly. Really do appreciate you very much. Dolly's doing good. That's wonderful. Thank you all for your prayers for him. Um, Life is precious and it is short, even if you live 100 years. So 100 degrees in Chicagoland. Wow. Wow. It is oven. It's always an oven in Florida with humidity. uh, oh, thank you so much, the Jersey lady. It's very sweet of you. Oh, thank you, Betty. Thank you so much for becoming, or rather, a pearl necklace. Very sweet of you, my dear. Really do appreciate that, Betty. Thank you so much for your support. All right, guys, we are speaking about the Sebastian Rogers case that has been eventful. I mean, finally, we've gotten a little word on the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm currently floating. Oh, I've floated that many times. Promise. I have floated that many times in New Braunfels, actually. New Braunfels, uh, where Slitterbahn is, but the river. Uh, Down the tube and all of that. So yeah, that's fun, 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 fun. Very good times. Enjoy yourself, my dear. Thank you for your support. Really do appreciate that. And thank you, Baby Garcia. Love you. That's the best. Ah, thank you, sweet. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate that. What's that reality? I see red lights. Why am I seeing red lights? What's flashing? Yes, he had a heart attack. Dolly had a heart attack yesterday. Mhm. Yeah, sure did. So, the main thing is he's doing good now and hope to, uh, have him back soon. Justin, I sent you an email yesterday. Um, I am behind on my emails, so there's that. But I'm gonna try to get to him tonight. Cody's voice. Thank you. I'd like to apologize to you for what, Sky? You're fine, my dear. No worries. Single mom. Hey, honey. Good to see you. Thank you for gifting the pearl necklace. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, my dear. So yesterday, if you didn't get to see our live yesterday or see the news in the true crime community. Oh, okay, reality. Gotcha. Oh, look at that. Um, when did you text me, reality? Because I just now checked. Mm-mm, I don't have anything from you. Um, but yesterday was the 6 months anniversary of Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Entirely too long. Entirely too long. However, there is some hope. Some hope out there. And that is that the FBI is now offering up to a $50,000 reward if Sebastian is located and or the conviction, arrest and conviction of those that may be involved. Of those is the verbiage that may be involved. Now, uh, thank you so much, Terry F. Welcome to our strand of pearls. Thank you, Terry. Pearls look amazing on you, Terry. Really do appreciate that, y'all. Please welcome our new pearl, Terry F. Thank you, Terry. Really do appreciate that. Debbie Dunn, good to see you, honey. 4 months. Much love, Justin. Check. Love you. Thank you, honey, for 4 continuous months. Really do appreciate that very much, my dear. Um, so what we're going to be speaking about today is probable cause. Who, what, when, where. Um, you have to watch The Mob. Um, don't we deal with them every day on here? Just kidding. Sorry, bad joke. Uh, I'll look it up and see if it's something I'm interested in. Uh, 3 years. I knew it was coming around AMC because I remember it being like late summer, early fall. So terrible. So terrible. Bless her heart. Gabby, it just gone way, way too long. I wonder what Seashell, I would think that they would be elated. Wouldn't you think that they would be elated that the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward if Sebastian is found and or an arrest with a conviction? I mean, I would be, that's a great thing, right? So I'm sure that they're really happy about that, right? So, text mob release an hour ago. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I know about that. Yep, yep. I got you. Okay. Um, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let me see if I can show you this. FBI's most wanted list. Sebastian is on there. Sebastian is on there. Now, most wanted, right? Now, they have, you know, the FBI is not it could be for an abduction, right? Although in my theory, who just said that wanna be sleuthing? Oh my god, you're gonna like make me bust a stitch laughing at that. Sorry. Okay. Uh top 10 missing. Yes. Um so there's that. God, that was funny. I'm sorry. That was funny the way you said that. All right. So, Justin, definitely take a look. Yep. Yep. I'm going to look at that. I have not, guys, I've been working, my other job and, back to school and just trying to, you know, get through the day with everything. And so it's like I try to research like right before I go to bed for like the next day for here. Um, but what I wanted to speak about is, and I've spoken about this before, probable cause, right? In the beginning, when Sebastian Rogers first went missing, right? When Sebastian Rogers first went missing, not less than 2 weeks after he went missing, there was an incident at a landfill. Now, yesterday we spoke about, or I spoke about how we, the throwing away. If you watched my live yesterday, you'll understand. Nina speaking about how her ex was throwing away, or giving away rather, her child's bed. She actually alleges that she caught him in the act, right? And there is this, in my opinion, with this man, there is everything, everything is disposable. Everything is disposable. Marriages are disposable, relationships are disposable, anything and everything. Pets are disposable, all of that. And it is not only what Nina has said, it is what others have said, and most importantly, what comes from his mouth, right? Relationships are the most important thing in our lives. It is what It is the only reason we thrive. People who have strong relationships, strong sense of community, live longer. They're healthier, right? Yes. Yes, TC, I would say that. And so there's this constant throwing away, you know, trying to give us parenting advice, saying, listen up, parents, this is how you do it. If he doesn't clean his room, let me tell you what I do. I go in, I get a garbage bag, I pick all the stuff up, right? Tie it in a knot, give it to him, tell the child to go take it out to the trash and then go take it out to the curb. It's interesting he mentioned that while Sebastian was missing. And it's interesting, in my opinion, how the trash ran that morning. And it's interesting to me that less than 2 weeks, there is enough probable cause for a judge to sign off to go to another state and search in a landfill. Now, first, I want to tell you that Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 6 months yesterday. He went missing February 26, 2024. There is no named suspects. In this case, they have not ruled out foul play, however, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And again, no named suspects. The only thing we have is what we know, and that is what has came from police, which is not a lot. What has came from Sebastian's mother, Sebastian's stepfather, and Sebastian's father, a little bit of the grandmas, and that's pretty much it. So just want to add that caveat to that. Okay. So, like I said, there is this continual throwing away. I mean, I don't understand how someone has, you know, 5 marriages in a about a 20-year span. She spoke to him at 10 p.m. on the 25th. That is correct, Shirley. Justin, I don't think the date is right because according to KP, she spoke to him at 10 p.m. on the 25th. That is correct. However, um, lights were out according to uh, KK at midnight. So according, to what to that and what authorities say, it is the 26th, so after midnight. Now, personally, if you want to go on my feeling, just a feeling, I believe that Sebastian technically went missing on the 20, maybe not missing, but if there is foul play, then in my opinion, it would happen on the 25th. It would have happened on the 25th, in my opinion only. So there's that. Now, there's been a lot of people in this case given their opinions on this case. In my opinion, uh, the professionals are always the best. In sometimes, you know, the retired uh, FBI, retired homicide detectives, statement analysis, body language analysis, those are always important. Said him say in another podcast. Telling Justin, Seth, telling. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What do you think happening with in the flashlight video? We're gonna get to that, Misty, because what I want to show you, uh, Jennifer Coffindaffer, rather. I apologize, Jennifer. She is um former FBI. She has a career in federal law enforcement spanning over 28 years and included extensive investigation, operational, leadership, and training experiences as a special agent with the FBI. She specialized in gangs, narcotics, organized Chapter 3 electronic surveillance, counterintelligence investigations. She participated in numerous high profile arrests, operations, and led nationally recognized investigations involving organized crimes, weapons of mass destruction, and counterterrorism matters. Um, she's done a lot in FBI in the last nearly 3 decades. I want to go over a little bit of some of the things she said because she has how to tell you, was it for both sides 4 years back and has a 3-part series usually. Yeah, Pickle Pie. Why don't you email me that? That would be great if you could. Um, so she was speaking about very, uh, what I had spoken about before on this landfill because I think it gets overlooked in this. Now, authorities have said They have not ruled out foul play. Now, every, you know, anybody that's been in retired police work, FBI or other, have stated that I've seen at least that, you know, they don't just go look in a dump, in a landfill in another state, right? You just don't do that. You have to have a warrant. You have to have probable cause. Yes, she did, Cassie. You have to have probable cause, meaning there is evidence of something that is leading you to believe that something could be more probable than not. Now, we don't know if they found anything. We have no idea. Okay, pink butterfly. Make sure you tell me at the end, okay? Now, I want to play a few things that she said. I want you guys to go watch all of this if you haven't yet watched it, because she goes over a lot of things. Um yeah, yeah, when is the last time you've seen the FBI offer a reward for a runaway, like a runaway child? Not very ever, right? Not maybe ever. Now, first, before we do that, I want to uh show something, and I again spoke about this before. Um Whenever Sebastian, or it was the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, they addressed a letter when they pulled out of the Sebastian Rogers case. Um, Bear with me. I had my spot saved, and I guess I pulled back. Our Texas Foundation. All right. Okay, here it is. In the attempt to provide any help we could initially through our Stop Now safety response. Uh-oh. Sorry. Response volunteer teams. We teamed our own network of volunteers and online crisis team members, including students themselves from our national network, searching, passing out flyers, making phone calls, and more. As this progressed from Tennessee to Mississippi to Alaska, we became increasingly convinced of the culpability of certain members of Sebastian's family in his disappearance. That factor has not changed, and we have made the stance public. Why? And then it's talks about, you know, I recommend you go watching it. 1 second, please. Okay. Gabby's dad show was, it was not safe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's sad. It's sad. The threats. There's been a lot of people that, you know, I can't imagine. God bless the, Petitos. It's just sad. Thank you, Pinkie Pie. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. So there's a few things that I want to touch from Jennifer's touch on Jennifer's live here. Again, please go watch it. It's only about 50 minutes. Credit goes to Break the Case with Jennifer Coffindaffer, FBI. Link is provided in the description, where you can find that. Make sure you subscribe to Jennifer. You won't be sorry. You really won't. Would back down of threats. Kids don't. Yeah, they kind of explain it bare in this. So in that Uvalde letter, and actually Jennifer kind of speaks on it a little bit, I think, in this live at some point. All right, so without further ado, let's get started.
Now we have proof of life on the 25th from a restaurant, a video. We definitely know he was alive then. Other than that, all we have is Katie's words about Sebastian Rogers. And this is the problem I have. And I've been very careful about not throwing her or Chris necessarily under the bus. You sign out of your internet? Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. I want to talk about her 3 statements about Sebastian Rogers. Now, we should be talking about her 1 statement, because the truth never changes. It's as simple as that. What happened in terms of when you last saw Sebastian and when you went to go look for him, those facts should never change. But with Katie Proudfoot, they've changed 3 times, and I'm going to go over them really quick. Her first story was that Sebastian went to bed at around 9 p.m.
And that's it. Jennifer is usually, she was, yes, almost 3 decades in the FBI. The truth never changes. The truth never changes. Listen, how can a mother change the story? Wouldn't you say the thud is so important? The thud? Wouldn't that be so important? Why have we got at least 3 stories? At least. Oh my God, True Sleuth. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you so very much. That's very, very generous of you, my dear. So sweet. Very, very kind. Jay Justin, if Sebastian is now on the FBI's wanted list, wouldn't that mean the FBI would need to have an open case concerning Sebastian? Does that mean FBI resources will now used to find Sebastian? Has the FBI taken the lead without saying so publicly? So, as to my knowledge, I did try to do a little digging on that, and from what I understand, the FBI is still not the lead. Is still not the lead. Although I think it seems like, are, I guess, trying to assist more, but they are still not the lead. That is what I took from it. I can email you some stuff later on why I think that, what I've read on that, if you would want. But I believe even Jennifer Coffindaffer, people was asking her that, and I think she stated that they're still not the lead, but they are, nonetheless assisting and now offering rewards. Positive vibes. Thank you so much, my dear, for 4 months. Best 4 months. Hugs. Glad to be awake tonight to listen. Yay! Thank you so much. Very sweet of you. Thank you for 4 continuous months, my dear. Very, very sweet. And thank you again, Truth Sleuth. Very, very generous of you, my friend. The case is as old as some. Now, listen, we're not going to cover, like I said, all of this, because but there were some things in here that we spoke on yesterday, and it was just like, yes, she is saying what I'm saying, in her way, obviously, but it's she made it crystal clear, in my opinion, how she saw things in her opinion. And I found it refreshing, and she did it in a respectful manner as well. Elisa, Mamo G, Smiling Sleuth, Misty Moon, and Elisa, good to see you all. Mohawk Hatters. So, and she actually does mention, when you watch all of this, she does mention the Summer Wells case as well, which I thought was interesting.
The next morning at 6, when she woke him for school, he was gone. Okay, that's story number 1. The next story is that Katie heard him at about 10 p.m., heard a noise, loud noise, and she yelled at him. She didn't go in and check on him. She yelled at him, "Hey, be quiet in there. Go to bed. It's time for bed." 6 o'clock, she went in. He wasn't there. Story number 3.
Right. And that was interesting. It was first, "Hey Bubba, did you fall out of bed?" Right? It was like, "Hey Bubba, did you fall out of bed?" And another one was, "I don't care what you're doing in there. Knock it off and go to sleep." And then there was another one. I can't even remember. But one is a question, right? One is, "Did you fall, hey Bubba, did you fall out of the bed?" Question mark. He replies in that one, "No, ma'am," right? "No, ma'am." Too many references to a bed in this case. Interesting. Question to the $50,000 reward could be because Sebastian is the son of a deputy sheriff. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think this is just a very high profile case. And, maybe they know that, someone may know something, right? Maybe someone had a bad time and needed to get something off their chest one late night, said something a little off. Now, remember when Mr. Foot called his ex, Nina, and, he was acting a little strange. You know, sounded like he may have needed some comfort at that time, and sometimes we'll go to people for comfort in stressful times, or when we need someone that we probably wouldn't be our first pick, but they'll do. Even like, an old flame, an old friend, an ex-friend, someone you've actually even fought with, uh, like an ex or whatever. You don't think for one minute that might also be that they knew something and they're waiting for someone in a group of people to break and snitch? Um, I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. Don't know. I wish.
Is that, again, she heard after 10 o'clock a thud. Remember, initially it was a noise and then it kind of changed to a thud. So anytime we're interviewing somebody and specificity like that changes, in other words, that thud should have been talked about in story number 1.
Yes.
It was talked about in story number 3. And furthermore, what she said is he responds. That Sebastian responds and says, I'm okay, I'm going to bed. So you see the issue I have here, and I think many people have, is why the change in story. This is about your son. This isn't asking about what happened when you went to the grocery store. This isn't about your child coming home or your husband. I will say, because children don't usually ask this question, how was your day? And you say, well, generally I worked on this, or I did this, I walked the dog, I, prepared. No, it's general, right? This is about being interviewed about your son, your autistic son who is missing. You don't forget thuds, loud noises, him not saying something, him saying something. That doesn't happen.
Not only that, the story itself, in my opinion, just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Most of you in this chat have had, you have kids, right? Whether they're young or older now. What did you do on Sunday evening? What did you do on Sunday evening? Right? They made sure their backpack was taken care of, right? You had Sunday dinner, right? They all took showers, all of that. You got ready for the week. Yes, Justice Jane, it's in the description. Mods, if y'all could put Jennifer Coffindaffer's link in the chat as well, but it is also in the description as well. Now, again, Jennifer has been, Miss Coffindaffer, she has been in this for 30 years, nearly 28 years. She has seen a lot of things. A lot of things. Now,
doesn't happen. It happened here.
Hold
And
on, let me rewind that just a
who
little
is
bit.
missing.
Listen
You
to this.
don't forget thuds, loud noises, him not saying something, him saying something. That doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It happened here. And this is,
I mean, you know, there's no speaking about, you know, from 7 o'clock till 10, well, 7 o'clock till midnight, right? That's 5 hours. That's 5 hours. There's no talking of him going to the kitchen, getting a glass of water, juice, whatever. Nothing about him going and brushing his teeth for bed. Nothing. None of that. Right? Shower, brush your teeth for bed. Nothing. It is came home, played in his room all evening. Right?
notable. It's notable. I've said many times, I hope that Sebastian Rogers ends up like Connor Jack Oswald, that he truly did walk out that door, that he'll be found 2.5 years from now. But I want to bring up this other point that I think is very important. Sebastian Rogers has not been seen at all.
Yes.
Since February 25th. I'm going to say the 25th because that's what I call proof of life. That was on a video.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what happened
Mm-hmm.
that evening. We don't know what happened in the night, and we don't know what happened in that early morning hours. We just don't know, because we are now relying on Katie Proudfoot, who has not been completely truthful. She's changed her story.
I need a round of applause for that. That deserves a round of applause, in my opinion. This child has not been heard from. No one has seen him. There has been not a scent, not a shred of anything to suggest that he is roaming around on this earth. Now, Mr. Foote would say in an interview that the best part about it is that he has managed, meaning Sebastian, to hide all of his traces from everyone. Everyone. I'm not sure a 15-year-old who has chromosome deletion, has autism, and has never been really part of the world could do something like that. He's never rode a city bus, according to interviews. He wouldn't know what a $20 bill would get him. So please tell me how he could have done this on his own if he has never done anything, he was very sheltered. Yes, the best part is what it says. The best part about it is he has managed to hide away and not leave any form of evidence. Isolated. That's a good word, Heather Ann. That's a good word. He was isolated, very isolated. And the only places he went really was school, his dad's house, his mom's house, and wherever he would go otherwise with one of his parents. Remember, CP did say the case would be studied for a long time. I find it interesting. Was using the word case from the beginning. Since when is a runaway a case to be studied? That's a very good point, Truth Sleuth. That's a very good point. And something that is truthful, right, should not change. Shouldn't change at all. When something happens, you tell it the same way, right? Now, you might remember a little something later, but it shouldn't change potential outcomes, or it should make sense to the context of the story. And that is the problem here. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion only, that a couple speaks for 2 hours on the phone so late into the evening whenever they had the entire weekend off to speak anytime they wanted, especially when they had to be at work so early. Doesn't make sense that you you know are studying, sleeping, and talking on the phone all at the same time. It doesn't make sense that you have um, a thud and there is no one that checks on it, especially because the child is special needs, has had many seizures as a child. Hadn't had them in a long time, thank God, but nonetheless also has a pocket of fluid in his head. It doesn't make sense. Now, if their normal bedtime, they said in other interviews, was 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Now, this was 10 o'clock. And then he doesn't leave without shoes, but there is no scent. Couldn't have gone out any other door. Most, based upon them speaking to the police, they say in other interviews, based upon um, what he always does. No scent, nothing on camera, and he took a flashlight. He may have took a flashlight. And when he took if he took a flashlight, there is these illuminations at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is when they say Sebastian could have left anywhere between midnight and 6 a.m. But the parents claim it is nothing.
He hasn't been seen on video. He hasn't been seen by anyone. This was in the suburbs. This isn't the inner city where you could just sort of end up mingling somehow with, homeless people or somehow just maybe under the radar and not seen.
Right.
Was he picked up? I mean, we have to at least consider that as a possibility. No one's come out about anything like that. She got a 15-year-old, high-functioning, autistic young man disappears.
It's true.
All right, I want to talk next about Chris Proudfoot. Okay, Chris.
Now, this is what I wanted to really speak about, to be honest with you, because for me, when I've been saying something very similar to this for quite a while now, and then you have someone 30 years in the FBI, you're like, God, that's some validation.
Proudfoot.
Listen to this, y'all. Buckle up.
Pretty much held my tongue. Been taking notes.
Watch, Jennifer. I pretty much held my tongue. Been taking some notes, Hanny. I've been taking some notes, Hanny. Right? He's been taking some notes. Just saying. Mr. Foot's like, huh? What the huh? 2020 Dodge, no, it's a diesel, 2030 truck, 1500 diesel. Takes nuts.
Sitting back watching. Chris Proudfoot, if you go back and look at the video of his ex, and that video now, maybe some of you recorded it, it's hard to find because it's private now. So unless you made a copy of it that you can see, his ex was so believable. The pain, the quivering, the tears, the consternation in her voice, my opinion, believable. I understand exes have reasons to say bad things about their exes, and I thought she was being truthful. You all can take a look at that video. I posted it on my Twitter long ago.
I 1010% believe Nina. I 1010% believe every single word of that woman. I think, again, his behavior, his lack of relationships that matter, that should matter, seems like, 5 women, 5 marriages, right? Allegedly around over 20 years or so. She was very transparent. She was very authentic. And she was heartbroken. There's nothing more than, the best thing you can try to do for your kids' sake, right? After you split up is, you know, co-parent together. But sometimes it's hard with, you know, a controlling narcissist, in my opinion, you know, and there is a lot of them out there.
Go. I want to point out some of the major things she said, okay? She said
Do it, Jen.
Chris Proudfoot mistreated a newborn. Mistreated a newborn? A newborn child is the most innocent, most precious. They have absolutely no defense mechanism. They're just a little baby. Who can mistreat a newborn?
Right. Who can do that? Who can do that? A newborn.
If you can
Throwing
mistreat
a
a
newborn,
newborn, can you
allegedly.
mistreat somebody who's 15 with autism that you don't particularly like anyway?
That's right. You know something? I was speaking with someone last night, and you know, we were speaking about why he may have not wanted his child around Sebastian. And they, you know, said something that made my jaw hit the floor. And, you know, Seth has spoken about what was happening in, you know, with Sebastian in California, what had happened to him by another person, right? Um, I'm trying to use my words here. He was abused in California, if you know what I mean. Was that one of the reasons, or was that the main reason? It's a question that he didn't want his daughter around him. What are your thoughts? And the reason I asked that, no, he did receive counseling. But if he is using that logic, right, that, you know, he may do something, you know, Katie was a victim as well. You know what I mean? Katie was a victim as well in that. Anyone that's ever suffered something like that deserves compassion. not, just tossing them off to the side. I feel horrible for Katie that happened to her. But that doesn't mean that she's going to do it. Right? They both experienced this. So, if there's that. All right, let's continue.
That you don't want your daughter around, that you allowed to have somebody in your house sexually abused him. This is the kind of man that I at least believe Chris Proudfoot is. Let me go to a couple of other things. Verbally and physically abused a 4-year-old. Now you've got a 4-year-old. Whether we're calling that a toddler, it's a 4-year-old. Again, 4-year-olds are they love you so unequivocally. They're so fun. That was one of the best ages. They're so curious, but you know what? They're terrified of strangers. They want mommy. They want daddy. They seek their parents for true love and affection and commitment. And you're abusing that age of a child. This isn't, a teenager who is being disobedient. I'm not saying that's an excuse. All I'm saying is an infant and a 4-year-old. Right now, we have accounts. We have spankings that were, I think the word I could use is vicious. They were not taps on the rear. Remember, when you punish a child.
Yes. Hold on, she have a little internet trouble here.
Now, I, for one, I'm 1,000% against corporal punishment. My parents used corporal punishment. I was at the receiving end of it. She says this
brilliantly right here, just up here.
A lot of parents believe in corporal punishment. Personally, I don't. Every parent has to make their own decision. But to corporal punish a kid, first of all, with any sort of weapon, because you don't want to hurt your hand, maybe your corporal punishment is too forceful.
Yes.
And spanking.
That is not only, in my view, with a weapon, it's not only wrong, it's illegal. Now, I understand a lot of us growing up, it was different for us. I got spankings. It doesn't teach a child anything. It does not it doesn't teach a child nothing at all. But it is illegal to hit a child with an instrument, a weapon.
The thing about a spanking, at least when I got a spanking, I was so embarrassed, ashamed, almost humiliated that the person I loved the most would want to spank me.
Yes. Right. Do you think the FBI now has the full case records? Oh, I'm sure they've seen everything. I'm sure they've got it all. Yeah. Now, again, a lot of people still spank their kids, and that's your prerogative. That's how you run your family. It's nothing that I believe in, but you if you spank it, it has to be with your hand. It can never be with something. It can't be with anything other than your hand.
It was so humbling to sit there and get spanked. It's beyond humbling. It's horrible, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm sure everybody has their own way, and I'm not trying to judge anyone. I
find this one
spank them. I don't want to belabor this. I just want to say these were spankings that occur, in my belief, out of anger, out of emotion, out of wanting to hurt a child. A punishment should want to help a child. Should want to help.
Yes, right. A lot of these, for me, I see it as, like a domestic issue. Like you can't lay a hand on your husband or your wife, right? So how does, like, why are you doing this to why would you hit your child? Now that's just me. And I think in my opinion, for especially people who do it out of their own anger, right? That they're angry at what the child did, or what they perceived that the child did, right? So, and in my opinion, I mean, how the hell do you get whipped with a belt for forgetting a belt or lying about forgetting a belt? I understand that, Holly. I'm sorry. Yes, Kelsey, and that is, that's something that, could be pursued later. Insanity.
Help a child not repeat the action that they did that earned them the punishment. Extended timeout.
I mean, whipped with a belt for saying you forgot your belt. Yeah. I mean, think about this. It does, Vic. You're right, Vic M. Shows your intelligence level. It really does. This is an autistic child who has a chromosome deletion, and in my, kids are forgetful anyways, right? They are just learning responsibility, like real responsibility at that age. I forget my stuff all the time. Do you know how many times I have to turn back around to go back and, forgot this, forgot that? All the time. All the time. It's awful. Just for, I mean, if that is, okay, this is the thing. If that right there is the one and only time it ever happened, and Sebastian, that's the worst mistake he ever made. enough so to get a spanking with a belt, then he was a phenomenal. Just listened about everything, right? Because that's really nothing to get. I mean, I couldn't imagine hitting a child with a belt. Like that's some grave, sin that's going to be passed down through the generations for getting your belt of school for one mother chicken day. Yes, you do not hit a special needs child. I don't think you hit any child, but that's, but especially a special needs child. My kids need reminders. All kids needs reminders. You gotta tell them, don't forget this, don't forget that. I mean, if that's the worst thing that ever happened that he did was forget a belt, and that was enough to get a whipping, I would hate to see.
Now, I thought timeouts were such a great method, but timeouts typically should be the age of the child. So if you're in a corner for hours standing, I don't know all the.
Oh, hold on. Here it is.
Kids left in a corner for hours standing, not able to relieve themselves, not able to move, not able to eat, not able to do anything. Now, I don't know all the details on his timeouts, but they were apparently really bad. Okay? I'm just saying I believe her. Then there were the statements from the neighbor. I also posted all those statements on Twitter to consider. Again, maltreatment this time. Again, I touched on it a few minutes ago, but aimed directly at Sebastian.
I think she was having internet trouble. I just want to.
A spanking with a belt. This is an autistic child.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And to take a belt, a weapon, so that you don't have to hurt your hand, and that's how you beat a child? I have a lot of issues with that. And this isn't from the neighbor. These are the words directly out of Chris Proudfoot. He admitted to it. We know CPS was called. We know there were such serious issues in that house. Why is all of that important? All of that's important for two reasons. It explains two things. One, why Sebastian Rogers would want to leave. Explains that. Who would want to live in an environment where you're getting beat, where you're being mistreated, possibly a mattress in the garage, yelled at, called names? He called him names, retard. People who have the ability to do that to an autistic child, and I have a brother, as many of.
Donna, no. But that was never proven. That was thrown out. But nobody, not just Mr. Foot, nobody should be hitting an autistic kid. But especially, in my opinion, a 5-time divorced serial matrimonist. Kelsey, that is what has been alleged. And not only that, if you look at the Bauer Feet's alleged old employee that came on J for Justice and my channel, they were not the only ones that used allegedly that term, Matt. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it was Seth, if it was Chris, if it was any of them. You don't do that to a child,
You know,
especially one
he's
with
not
the
autistic. He has
special
cerebral
needs.
palsy. He was born breech and was kept in that position for about 10 seconds. And so he unfortunately has severe, you know, learning and physical special type needs. How anybody could even dream of spanking a child like that. And this is my biological
Yes, that was awful.
brother.
Ninny.
And my biological mom did not believe in corporal punishment, so never used any corporal punishment. The mom that adopted me used corporal punishment.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do this one.
And I think his track records indicates that he would be capable. I want to talk about what happened at the beginning of this case that some people may have forgotten about. To me, it's a blaring beacon. And that was the fact that law enforcement had a probable cause affidavit that an officer wrote to be able to search a dump. Now, for those of you not in law enforcement or who have never written a probable cause affidavit, a lot of people say, people want to be flippant. Attorneys, people who have never had to write a probable cause affidavit. They think, you just throw anything down. It's like the nonsense they say about indicting somebody. I'll leave that for another time. You don't just write a probable cause affidavit. You sit down as an agent and as an investigator, and you have to put together all the details you know from a case.
Okay, this is what we were talking about the other day. This is what I wanted to speak on this live for. The probable cause affidavit. Why that landfill matters. Why that landfill matters. You got to have a warrant. And it cost a lot of money as well to do a search. But you got to have enough proof that is probable. Not, you got to have enough to lead the judge to sign off on that. Probable cause has to be enough for the district attorney to take it to a judge to get a warrant. Yep. Past abuse is always important to why a child comes up missing. It's absolutely everything. And I will tell you, I think we don't know why Sebastian is missing. We don't have a name or names to, someone that could be involved in this. But past is very important. And in my opinion, whether 1 or 5 to 7 people are involved, I don't know. But in my opinion, there is one common factor, in my opinion, why Sebastian is missing, based upon the things people have said, the things they have said, the things that we have learned and know, and there is one common denominator. And it's not, in my opinion, Seth or Katie. I don't think, in my opinion, I could be completely wrong. Just telling you my opinion. Doesn't make it a fact, doesn't mean anyone's did anything. But in my opinion, there is one. I don't think Sebastian would be missing today if there wasn't one person that entered this family's life.
Have to interface with other officers and agents. I've posted all of this on my Twitter, all of Twitter X, all of the officers that went out. I got their footage. I posted that all out there. I mean, they were searching the neighborhood. There were 5 dog teams. By the way, that is all a hot mess. We'll get into that next. In any event, the situation with preparing one of these probable cause affidavits, it's very intricate, if it's done correctly, and it lays out every.
Wow, Shelby. Reporter asked if the feet wanted to state anything on their reward. They declined. Great. That speaks volumes. You're exactly right, reality. Nothing like, we are so glad finally that the FBI is, ready to offer someone to come, and, hopefully give us a tip that leads us to an answer to find our son. Nothing? Nothing? Right, Grace? Not even a thank you, I guess. I don't know, Jesse. Not that I have seen yet. Now, this is the thing. You may not like some of the things Seth has said, maybe even some of the things he has, done since Sebastian has been missing. But there's 2 things we know. And one is we know where he was on the night of the 25th until the 26th. We know that Chris and Katie also confirmed that, and they also say that he is not involved. And we also know that he has done every interview that he could with the news. You don't have to like him as a person. Nobody's even asking that. But I can tell you this, in my opinion, just in my opinion. If a car pulls up and someone gets out and they go to a common area toward a house and 2 people come back and then they're there a minute or 2 and then one goes running back toward that common area, and if that is related to Sebastian's disappearance? If it is, then that would mean, in my opinion, that someone from that house knows. We also know that he took and passed a lie detector test. Yes, and that is true, Ebony. Very well stated. That he is the one and only one that we know as the public that an FBI polygrapher gave him the test and passed. So there's that as well. Very well. Serenity, hey girl, how you doing, my dear? Thank you so very much. Seth is hurting in his emotions. He showed yesterday was real. All he wants is his son back. Yes. And you know what breaks my heart is that, you know, he probably won't end up having any more kids. This is his only son. He moved all the way to Tennessee for his son. And that was his pride and joy. Katie said he would have been and was the first one always in the front row rooting him on. There's a Christmas video with Sebastian. He is the only one there, according to Seth in that video. Are people really on the trashing Seth bus? Kelsey, it you know, I think that they're, a lot of people just don't like Seth, but this is the thing. If I know where someone was, their alibi fits, they have, right? We know where they're at. Alibi fits. They don't have a motive, right? Motive means opportunity. There was no motive. No motive at all. He's getting ready to get his son. Right? No motive. Means. Well, there was no means to do it because he was at work. Opportunity. Of course he didn't have the opportunity because he was at work. Maybe money. So, all right, Donna, if that's your logic, then that could be something that could benefit any of the parents. They have just as rights to do that as any other parent. Number one. Number two, if that's the case and we look at that video, then one person goes running back, then that means someone in that house would have to know. It's someone ran back. Right? He's not the man that has been, said that he would throw out children's stuff. He's not the man that has had 5 wives in 20 years. Right? Seth is a pretty basic, simple guy, right? He really doesn't pretty simple. And I can tell you that nobody, not Chris, not Katie, not Seth, would do something like this for a measly, the hell that they've all three been through, for $20,000 or whatever they got. I'll tell you that right now. I'll believe. Yeah. Yeah. He's taking that lie detector test. I mean, you know, the feet, they say that they have Life 360. Life 360. I mean, if they have Life 360 and, you know, they've been able to corroborate where they are, which I bet you, Robin, I'll check. I think so. Yes. Thank you, Robin. I did. Thank you so much, my dear. You know, they could tell their alibis in about very quickly. Life 360 is it's a software that tells your location. And Mr. Foote said that he and his entire family had that. Right? No, we don't know that Katie has passed a lie detector test. We have no idea. We have no idea. We don't know if Chris has passed one. The only thing, law enforcement has never stated whether they passed it, and they did not take one on Nancy Grace's channel from a FBI polygrapher. Refused, or didn't at least take it. Nope. They said that they passed. They said that they passed. But them saying it and the polygrapher or the police saying it are two different things.
Every piece of evidence you have.
This is the person that said passed on day 7 or day 8. Passed. People was just like, it didn't rub people the right way. And then I think it was on Duchess, and Duchess asked again. And he's like, yep, passed. And then the other woman, I can't remember, she just flat out like asked him. And he's like, well, no, wait a minute. Didn't say who passed. Oh, so you have to play semantics with a missing child's, words, saying that you didn't say who passed. Oh yeah, with flying colors, forgot about that.
Have to that point, up to the point that you establish probable cause that Sebastian Rogers would be in that dump. That's the probable cause. Probable cause he's in that dump and he's there now. I know they came out and they said, listen, this is routine. That's what law enforcement said. This is routine. Now, I give them credit. Probably they wanted to come out and say that so they didn't alert the people that they might be concerned about.
One second, let me fast forward this a little bit.
My great internet regarding Sebastian. I lost my train of thought. Apologies. Oh yes, the dump search. They had to establish that. What was their probable cause? What does that affidavit say? What proof? Because you have to have proof. They have to have a judge sign off on this thing. So law enforcement believed it. And then after that, it goes to your supervisor who looks it over, typically.
No, I haven't, Boo. I'm gonna watch that at some point. I haven't been able to do nothing other than work and work.
And then after that, it goes to your district attorney. They have to believe what's written on there. And then a judge has to believe that there's probable cause. That's what happens. And they got it. And they went there and they spent.
Yes, you mean Seven True. It always bothered me that CP wasn't even there, but somehow everything, quote, we would have heard it. Yeah, many times. And seems to make, in my opinion, the way when Katie is speaking in that interview, speaking about her getting in that car, going to the school, it seems to be a very uncomfortable situation, a high anxiety, the body language, the eyes down, and especially the multiple and he's already, and then CP saying the fact that I was on the phone with her most of the time during the non-911 call. That is bizarre in itself. And then Katie saying, he told me to hurry up and get back. Hurry up and get back, that the police were almost there. That's odd. You were speaking, you were on a three-way call, right? You would have heard them. Doesn't sit right.
Valuable resources and valuable manpower to go out there and search. When's the last time? That's where I was with.
One second.
A bag into a dumpster. They had that on videotape. That enforcement happening in any event. Quentin Simon. Simon, law enforcement saw Leilani Simon throw a bag into a dumpster. They had that on videotape.
I agree, always late.
That gave them the probable cause then to search. And I don't know if you remember this. They weren't out there for a couple of days.
19 more thumbs up and we have a chicken party. You don't want to miss the chicken party. I'm just telling you. We get to 1,000, we have a chicken party. 1,000 thumbs up. It's a mother clucking good time.
They were out there for an extended period of time. The FBI conducted this search, and they did an amazing grid search. Remember, dumps are vertically deep and horizontally long, right? So this sort of search is super intensive. They were in hazmat suits. It smells, it's horrible. When they did the search of the dump for
Right.
Sebastian, I said back then, how in the world could they do this search in such?
Right. Yes. How many people ignore that? They're like, oh, yeah, yeah. Seth mighta been gone 3 hours on his shift. The man has been on camera. He was on camera for 12 hours. You can't leave like that at a prison or a jail. Oh, we've got 1,000. We got 1,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Who's ready to have a chicken party?
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Grace!
Give me sugar, water. More.
I got in 2,000 diesel.
Oh,
Hey, your skin is hanging off your bones.
oh yeah.
Now, we all know that he likes a pet cat.
A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat.
This is when Mr. Foot took KK to the camper for the Nancy Grace interview.
You're coming with me.
What?
It's a long trip. I'll need a snack.
All right. Thank you guys so very much for 1,000 thumbs up. You tell them Bobby and Carter. You want me to get Bobby and Carter? Oh, you want the snacks? Okay, we'll do the snacks.
Snacks because he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because he's 15 and snacks.
All right, there we go. There we go. My grandson is a Virgo and 5 others, and I know we're Virgos. Virgos. Kazoo. The movie is Men in Black. Yeah. Yeah. Zanny the Nanny. That's Lacey Peterson. Not Lacey Peterson. God, forgive me. Kaylee. Sorry. Help me out, guys. Casey Anthony. No. Yeah. Kaylee. It was, yeah. That was Casey Anthony. No. Was it Casey Anthony? Yes, Casey Anthony. It was Casey Anthony. Her parents got hounded too. God. She just did an interview like a year ago. It was
A
crazy.
limited amount of time without hazmat suits. There were pictures of this search, and it just did not look at all thorough. I'm
You
going to
get
use the
sing
word
happy
thorough.
birthday tomorrow.
I always wondered, was it thorough enough? Could he have been there?
God,
There's
yeah.
probable cause to believe he was there. Did they thoroughly search that? Now, some of you may remember too that the area they searched at the dump
Listen to this.
wasn't the right area, right? There were supposedly two dumpsters, right? There's the dumpster that I should say, the trash location site that the neighborhood trash goes to. And then there's also
Oh, that's sweet.
the
Nancy.
trash location site at the dump that the dumpster that was at the nearby construction site went to. And those were two different areas at the dump. When I heard that, I mean, then I was even more confused. Was your probable cause affidavit for the dumpster from the construction site, or was your probable cause affidavit for the dump site where the local trash? Because remember, we know there was a trash truck. We saw the lights. Remember how a lot of people early on thought it was flashlights. They thought it could have been Sebastian leaving, other people out there. No, it was this trash truck. I think that was probably part of their probable cause.
Now, I think, in my opinion, she's a little confused on that. Those lights were not, they're not a trash truck at all. That is one thing that they're not. They're not a trash truck, but they're, according to people who have interviewed Bobby with Bobby the neighbor, and people that I've spoken to have stated that you can see the trash truck clear as day. You know what's the trash truck, and it is hours after the light and the vehicle pulling up. Right? So we know that. So True Sleuth, thank you, honey. Again, wow. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much, True Sleuth. You're very generous to me, my dear. Love you, friend. Justin, what has baffled is that law enforcement had probably cause to search the landfill. Why did law enforcement not process the PF's home and vehicles as if it could be a place where foul play occurred? It seems contradictory to me. I agree with that. I agree with that. And that is, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's very interesting that they were out back a lot at the home, right? They did some sort of inside, but to be honest with you, what day did they start looking in the landfill? Was it a 10 or 13, something like that? It was 10. Okay. Right. So, was it, they may have something that we have no idea. Right? They may have something that we have no idea. But I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, oh, thank you, always late. I love you guys too. You guys are family. Love you guys. to me, it seems like this case, if there is any sort of foul play, is going to be a case that is almost entirely digital. To put the steps together. Digital. Now, let's speak about. Okay, thank you, Serenity. Thank you, dear. I think it was Mr. E that was doing something to see how often mentioned food snacks. Food was definitely an issue. Serenity, did you see my members only live that I did? I don't know, a couple weeks ago. They CP, Mr. Foot, rather, he talks about, he would eat, just a gigantic, what was the word he used? Bottomless pit. Bottomless pit, meaning Sebastian eating. Now, this is a upper middle class. Yes, I'm going to sing, I promise you, at the end. This is an upper middle class home, right? Both working, successful people. Mom installs security systems, cameras, automated stuff for the home. Yeah, teenage boys, they never stop eating, right? Never stop eating. Nina said on her interview, she alleges, well, didn't you have cameras in your home? And I can't remember the reply of what she alleged he said. But anyway, there have been things alleged. And again, I cannot say 100%. But there's been things alleged, such as there were cameras in the home and camera in the kitchen. And if one would get up of the night, it's got a motion sensor on it. It will alarm your phone, and you can get on your phone and you can see, you can hear, and you can push a button and speak through that camera. What the hell are you eating? Why are you up this late? Right? That's been alleged. Now, again, a lot of talk about food, right? Lots of talk about food. Thank you again, Serenity. they were bottomless pits, but I've never a big deal of food. I same, you know. Yeah, I don't understand it. Uh to me that's just shameful. Uh that's when I like to eat is 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when I want to be in the kitchen, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Uh, and that's the thing, Jesse. Sebastian had texture issues according to his mother. I don't think he was truly a bottomless pit, in my opinion. He was quite skinny, right? He was quite skinny. And, that makes you, was, you know, people that abuse, right? They like to control certain aspects. Now, we don't know if this happened in this case, but I'm just telling you in general that they like to know where you're at all times, right? Who you're with, what you're doing. That is true. ADHD medicine makes you not usually eat that much. And they like, there will be problems with food, right? Money, anything of that, anything that they can control, right? Now, it's never mind.
That the trash was picked up right after that.
Yes.
But did they search the?
Yeah, they sure did install one on a camper. That is true. Yeah. Well, the sleepy medicine can make you very hungry. That's what can make you very hungry. Yeah. Shelby, that's what it seems like, in my opinion, and that's what the ex
Right area.
alleges as well.
Did they search the right zone? They sure didn't search very long.
I want to show you this.
Anyway, I wanted to bring up that. And searches for missing kids. And you were so grateful for
Here.
acted with all that other. First of all, if you have volunteers coming to help search for your child, you should be praising the Lord and thanking God. As an FBI agent who conducted so many searches and searches for missing kids, and you were so grateful for volunteers. I know some people who have never been in law enforcement, who are on X and, creators say, oh no, you have to have them, you have to vet them, and there could be bad people that come and be a part of that. Listen, when's the last time you heard of a searcher that's walking a line in a grid search looking for a child, try to commit, some sort of heinous crime against one of the people?
Exactly. And that's what, the the three step parents of Sebastian all asked for everyone's help, right? Put his name out there. If you can search, please search. And yet, all three of them have taken some sort of action or another against, whether it is a group that was searching. I believe Seth and Tony sent them a cease and desist along with others who was putting his name out. Now, you don't have to you may not like the message, but they were putting his name out, and that keeps interest. That keeps interest. And then also, obviously, what's been going on more recently, with the feet. And again, you may not like the message, but people were putting up flyers and doing some good. So that's been a real bizarre thing. Withholding food is a control factor. Yes. Power over the child as you supply their food. Withholding it is dominance and control. Also, your freedom, like shutting them in a room. Very well stated. CP put in van before he left, in my opinion. Why she drives van in moving pass off too. CP put in van. Well, something's not right. Something's not right, right? My best friend growing up would come over to my house and eat everything in sight because her mother would not allow her to eat snacks, and they locked the snacks in the closet. Um, Seth stated that whenever they moved out his bed, Sebastian's bed, from his home, that allegedly there were a bunch of wrappers of snacks and stuff thrown behind his bed. So I guess he wouldn't show the evidence, if you will. Very sad. Very sad. Oh, Jen, say it louder for the bushes and the cheap seats. What did Jen say? What did Jen say? Sebastian. I have never seen pictures of Sebastian and Chris. I haven't either. Where's Jen? What did she say? Sebastian had anemia, that's Janine. I don't see it. What did she say? Oh, I think I'm getting some messages here. This, but just in case you're in. Okay. Thank you so much. Question is, will the FBI take the lead since they're now offering award? But no, it tells me that the FBI is actively engaging in the case, and that's good thing, because sitting on one FBI agent's desk, he has the ticket, he has the case, which is called police cooperation case. It's assigned to him. And what does that mean? That means he has to do file reviews, and his supervisor has to say what he's doing on the case, what he's done on the case, and what he plans to do on the case. he is going to be in there. He's got to account for it, so it's a good thing, Jennifer Coffindaffer says. Okay, I see that. Said on the roadhouse, and Sebastian ate all his food like he was there, in my opinion. Yeah, there was early on, people said that he was there the week before, like the weekend before, or the weekend before that. I'm gonna look into that. Got a secret. I'm gonna look into that. I've been working so much. I haven't been able to do I haven't been able to watch anyone, and I haven't been able to work on any of my diagrams or anything like that either. He's too arrogant to be worried about the FBI. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else. Well, this will be something that will be studied for years to come, right? Summer needs more help. Yeah, Jennifer talks about in this actual live that I was playing. I don't know him, so I don't know if he'll strike me. You know what I mean? So I don't want to press my luck. But I'll look at it and then I'll see. I'll see. My granddaughter's room always looks like a right. Poor plump CPs. So many, yeah, it's craziness. Well, there's no routine Texas Roadhouse. Mhm. Okay, whose birthday is it? I need to sing. Whose birthday? Who's all the birthdays? Oh, others have been playing it? Who's all been playing it? Okay. It's not a long video. Okay, it's an 8-minute video. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Mob's video in the description. His channel is The Mob Crew. Full credit. The Mob Crew. Please subscribe to the Mob Crew if you haven't yet already. I'll put the link in chat as well. And I will also... He likes my work too. Okay. Mob usually takes forever to get to the point. Well, we all do. We all do. There's a lot of distractions. It takes a long time to get used to talking to yourself. It feels when you first start doing lives, you feel like a complete idiot. Because you're now, like, I'm so used to it, doesn't even, like, but there's a lot of buttons we're constantly pressing back here to move stuff. You know what I mean? Chris mentioned Justin last night. He likes your work. Okay. Okay. I've just heard about him like yesterday or day before or something like that. But he seems like a chill guy, and I like that on YouTube. I like someone who will think through stuff, like really think through it and not just be like, "Well, my opinion is." Well, why is that your opinion? Tell me why. I want to know why it's your opinion. Have you worked it all through? He gave a shout out to Clutch and Pearls one time. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Chris is not the type. I like someone who Chris is a thinker like good. Good. He seems like a thinker, and I appreciate that. You know, people's like, "Well, Justin, you talk slow." And I'm like, "Well, number 1, I'm Southern, so sorry. Number 2, I think before I speak. Maybe it's something, you know, we should get used to on here on the community. How about that?" And I think that's a great thing. And number 3, I had Lyme's disease and my brain's burnt sometimes. So, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Um, I think it's a good thing to speak. Oh, that's good. Good. Okay, we'll watch it. All right, so let me add the credit. I already add the credit for the replay crew. Represent. The link is provided in the description. If you are not subscribed to the mob crew, oh, sorry, I need to that I got that link in the description. Hold on. Don't need a dash. There we go. Make sure you are subscribed to the mob crew. All right. You guys want it with subtitles or without subtitles? Let me know in. Oops. 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 Okay. Now I can do this. All right. Let's see what we're working with. All right. Let's go. All right. Credit goes to the mob crew. He's been doing great work.
What's up, mob crew? I'm Chris. Today's video is a huge one. I'm going to be sharing some new information with you. I had somebody contact me that is very close to the neighborhood. I had to keep their identity confidential, but they did share some very interesting things with me that I'm going to share with you. Also, my video that I did where I overlaid stuff has garnered a lot of attention, especially with the locals, because they originally thought the lights were positioned in one place, but after seeing my overlay, they feel like they could be wrong, and the way I did it lines up much better. So I will also kind of explain everything in that. And again, please stay until the end, and thank you so much for watching. Welcome back to the channel, where we cover true crime, mystery, to the missing. In the security footage, using some big math and science to line up a Google image and overlaid the footage to show where I believe the lights are coming from. I also explained why the footage is a bit shaky and how it causes issues when trying to keep everything lined up. But in my opinion, the lights are traveling from Rogers' home across the yard and possibly behind the home to the right. I had a local who I spoke to recently who shared with me some information that has never been shared before. I will share this information here in a bit, but I just want to go over why my theory and where the footage is taken from is such a big deal. Here is an interview with Chris Proudfoot, explaining where the scent dogs got a hit near the Rogers home and the direction they went. In my opinion, after you hear this information and then look at how the lights behaved that night, will send chills down your spine.
They started on the front porch.
Okay.
Because off the front porch, the dogs cut to the right. They go all the way down the side of the house along the fence.
So they went to the back side, or that
Right.
to the north.
If you're looking,
Yeah. Now, if you look right here, let me make it bigger. If you look right here in the back fence, and there's another fence, there is a pathway you can walk right down through here.
if you're looking at my house,
Okay.
it's going to be the right-hand side. The dog goes all the way down the fence. The dog comes all the way back up into the yard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard, and that is the direction which the dogs take off. Now after that,
This is a combination of the path the lights were going, and according to what Chris Proudfoot claims, the direction of where the scent dogs went. In my opinion, it's clear that they are taking the same exact path, according to my overlay, Chris Proudfoot, and what the neighbors have mentioned, they all line up. Is this just some crazy coincidence? I believe not.
and then it cuts
You see, now, I'm going to stop it right here for just 1 second. My opinion has been that it's not Sebastian's scent, but it was a scent. Right? A scent. Now, there's a thing called familiar or family scent. I don't know, but we'll see. The police have stated that it was a false scent. Now, there's that.
diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard.
I mean, whatever this scent is, it's clearly not Sebastian.
As I
That's for
mentioned
sure.
earlier, I spoke to a local who knows the neighborhood and some of the neighbors very well. While I share the new information told to me, I will be showing a
Hey, Mr.
recreation of the events that allegedly happened that night. Now we know more.
Auntie,
Footage has been released, but in my opinion, the order in which the videos have been released
love being
may
stuck
not
with you,
reflect the correct order of events. So this, in my opinion, might be the correct order of events. So I believe the lights we see going towards the home happened first. So we are actually seeing the alleged suspects going to abduct Rogers. Then the second order of events is the first video to be released, showing lights traveling from near the Rogers home.
Okay, now when he says abduct, does he mean Sebastian is walking? Yes, that is a very huge assumption. If he means take physically, I might email him and ask him for clarification on that. Now, does okay.
Towards the house on the right. So some of the new information shared to me included that the unidentified vehicle in question was actually parked near the stop sign and on the left side closest to the house with the security footage, meaning they were on the wrong side of the road. They also mentioned that this vehicle waiting near the stop sign while the lights moved between the homes. Then at some point, the vehicle then turned onto Stafford Road. And if I understood this person correctly, actually was parked in the middle of the road, again blocking any traffic that may come by. Then the vehicle would turn on its lights, almost like it was a signal to the parties involved. Then the car backed up towards Kellen Avenue, after which it would leave via heading towards the exit of the neighborhood. One thing I could also share that may shock some people is that apparently they believe this vehicle looked like a dark sedan of some sort.
Okay, I know who he's talking to. I know who he's talking to. I have spoke to them as well, and I'm going to try to get a hold of them tomorrow. They did say it looked like a dark vehicle, but that wasn't a definite. And okay, I'm gonna have to listen to the rest of this. I'm gonna call a couple people tomorrow that I speak with. I haven't spoken with them in a few weeks.
Again, this is only what they believe they had, saw, and could have been mistaken. But if true, this could be a giant clue into figuring out who is behind this alleged abduction.
Holly, this is channel's called The Mob Crew. Link is in the description, and there's the link right there as well. I'll drop it right there.
Here is my overlay of where approximately I believe an identified vehicle was parked. Again, this lines up with what I was told, and it seems this vehicle and the persons involved were aware of the cameras in the neighborhood, and this is why we are seeing this type of suspicious behavior happening the same night that Rogers disappeared. This is not a coincidence, in my opinion. Also, the person I spoke to told me that even though that neighborhood has many Ring cameras located throughout the area, none of them have audio, or if they did, they were not near the Rogers home. So the video going around of the potential audio of the abduction and Chris Proudfoot's voice on it, that audio did not come from that night. Again, this is what I was told, and I believe the person I spoke to.
Yeah, I know what I know what he's saying, but
it was very
I can't
forthcoming and honest, and only wants to help. Here is one last look at all footage released being overlaid together. I put this together to give you an idea of the amount of activity that was going on around 3 a.m., which was the same night that Rogers disappeared. Also, I want to leave with one last thing that, in my opinion...
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was me. So, my question, this is interesting. I do have a question, though. Is he saying... I'll go to the Google map after this.
It aligns with a potential abduction. Here is the new FBI flyer and statement. The FBI Memphis Field Office, Nashville Resident Agency, announced Monday that anyone who provides information leading to the location and return of the missing teen, or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance, could receive the reward. I don't know about you, but that sounds like they are saying they know Rogers was abducted and are hoping somebody that night or day after saw something that could lead to finding poor Sebastian Rogers. Thank you so much for watching.
I swear I've seen a video of CPS truck backing up and having hazard. It may not be the same neighbor, but I've talked to a few neighbors. One I have just recently started speaking with because it took a lot of trust. A lot of trust. A lot of trust. Is this he posted just before your show? Okay, my question is, I wish he was in here. I'll just email him. But let me show you this. Okay. So we know that the car was here, right? See where my mouse is? Right here on Stafford, right? Here's Kellen. The car pulled here. Now, is he saying that the car stayed here and they came, like the people came right here? Or is he saying, you see where this car is? We'll just use this car as an example. Is he saying that the people, like the car backed up and the people walked over here? That's what I'm trying to understand. In the video, the car backed up and the people walked over there. The car parked. Okay, so what I'm confused about is where did the stop sign is on Stafford, not Kellen, like he said. The stops. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So the car was right here. Right. We'll just say somewhere in this area. We know that. Is he saying that they came down through between these houses? Like down here between the houses and then over to the car? Okay. So people are understanding it differently. I guess people are still confused. All right, let's go back and watch that one more time. I don't know. I'm all confused now. Okay, let's go back.
Welcome back to the channel, where we cover true crime, mystery, to the missing.
Sammy G doesn't speculate on whether was or wasn't walking, but doesn't speculate on whether was or wasn't walking, but shows earlier 3 people. See my email and you get a chance. Watch overlay where you can see path. I'll look at that. Thank you, Sammy G. Carol, thank you so very much. Appreciate you very, very much as well. Justin, can you play the call CP did with the diver? He tells the route. I know the route. So the route is I'll have to show
In
that
my
on Google
last
Maps.
video,
Let's
I
just look at this
explained how
first.
I lined everything up. In the security footage, using some basic math and science to line up a Google image and overlaid the footage to show where I believe the lights are coming from. I also explained why the footage is a bit shaky and how it causes issues when trying to keep everything lined up. But in my opinion, the lights are traveling from Rogers' home across the yard and possibly behind the home to the right. I had a local who I spoke
Okay, behind the home to the right.
to recently, who shared with me some information that has never been shared before. I will share this information here in a bit, but I just want to go over why my theory and where the footage is taken from is such a big deal. Here is an interview with Chris Proudfoot, explaining where the scent dogs got a hit near the Rogers home and the direction they went. In my opinion, after you hear this information,
Rebecca, what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys a while back? I said, I wonder if someone may have different shoes or different boots. Right? I wonder if someone parked over at the housing area. I wonder if someone walked. I wonder if someone washed. Switched out some shoes.
and then look at how the lights behaved that night will send chills down your spine.
They started on the front porch.
Okay.
Because off the front porch, the dogs cut to the right. They go all the way down the side of the house along the fence.
So they went to the back side, or that
Right.
to the north.
If you're looking at my house,
Okay.
it's going to be the right-hand side. The dog goes all the way down the fence. The dog comes all the way back up into the yard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door. That's through their backyard, and that is the direction which the dogs take off. Now after that,
This is a combination of the path the lights were going.
Okay. Yeah, it goes down and then it went around. It actually went, from what I understand, it went around here. It went down like this, down and straight up. Cross like this, down and up. Now he's using the other side of the house. It may be, but from what I understand, it went from down across, right over here, and then straight down. But
And according to what Chris Proudfoot claims, the direction of where the scent dogs went. In my opinion, it's clear that they are taking the same exact path, according to my overlay, Chris Proudfoot, and what the neighbors have mentioned, they all line up. Is this just some crazy coincidence? I believe not.
and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door. That's through their backyard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door. That's through their backyard.
As I mentioned earlier, I spoke to a local who knows the neighborhood and some of the neighbors very well. While I share the new information told to me, I will be showing a recreation of the events that allegedly happened that night. Now we know more. Footage has been released, but in my opinion, the order in which the videos have been released may not reflect the correct order of events. So this, in my opinion, might be the correct order of events. So I believe the lights we see going towards the home happened first. So we are actually seeing the alleged suspects going to abduct Rogers. Then the second order of events is the first video to be released, showing lights traveling from near the Rogers home.
Right. Yes, Mohawk. Yep, that's what I was speaking about. Chris says it's different in Gray's video.
Towards the house on the right. So some of the new information shared to me included that the unidentified vehicle in question,
yes, all three are the same video,
was actually parked near the stop sign and on the left side closest to the house with the security footage, meaning they were on the wrong side of the road. They also mentioned that this vehicle waiting near the stop sign while the lights moved between the homes. Then at some point, the vehicle then turned onto Stafford Road. And if I understood this person correctly, actually was parked in the middle of the road, again blocking any traffic that may come by. Then the vehicle would turn on its lights, almost like it was a signal to the parties involved.
Yeah, all three of the videos are the same video. There's like 3 lengths of the video, but they're the same video.
Then the car backed up towards Kellen Avenue, after which it would leave via heading towards the exit of the neighborhood. One thing I could also share that may shock some people is that apparently they believe this vehicle looked like a dark sedan of some sort. Again, this is only what they believe they had, saw, and could have been mistaken.
Yeah, I was it's interesting. I'm gonna email him and talk to him, and I'm gonna speak to a few people. Justin, in my opinion, how would know the information if he was at work? This is showing, I mean, yeah, I think, you know, he may have, I think he has a couple things that I disagree with in the video. I don't, in my opinion, he wasn't kidnapped as far as, I mean, if you're going to kidnap a kid, I don't know how he's using the word kidnapped, first of all. If you're going to kidnap a kid, 2 people, right, and one went back. You see, that's the problem, guys. That's what a lot of people forget. One person is going back toward the house. You get what I mean? Second of all, there was no scent. He was using the assumption on the FBI release. Got it. So, yeah. I think there was, I don't know, there was a creator yesterday or day before, I don't remember. They were talking, you know, about the video and Seth. And I'm thinking, what they're forgetting is that one of those individuals runs right back toward the house. So if you were saying in a ridiculous world, I mean, because Seth is not involved at all that night at all. He was at work. If I had 1% of doubt, I would tell you. If I had 1% of doubt, I would tell you. That is correct. Law enforcement said there was no scent. Now, Chris is telling a story saying that there was a scent of Sebastian that 2 dogs got. Now, law enforcement discounts that, right? And yeah, I'll look at his and Tammy, the lights, law enforcement never said those were a trash truck. Where was that comment? Let me find it again. Oh, I personally still believe the audio, but I can't get the person I think it is to speak. This Tammy, they also said lights were a trash truck. Nobody other than Seth said very early on that they implied it was a trash truck. So I promise you that's not a trash truck. I mean, unless you believe that they're going through houses. I don't know. I would love to know that. But I don't believe. See, I think if he was working on a car, I think it was around the area somewhere. Lolo, they're the same video. They're just different lengths. That's all they are. They're the same video. That's another thing that I think is kind of wrong in my opinion. Yes, Jennifer said it was a trash truck as well, but she is, in my opinion, absolutely mistaken on that. 1,000% that is not a trash truck. 1,000%. Now, there was a trash truck. 2.5 hours later, there was. I have spoke to neighbors, and it's clear as day. That these are, well, for a matter, listen to Bobby on JLRs. Yeah, Cajun, I might collaborate. I'll ask him if he wants to collaborate maybe on something. We'll see. No, they don't come at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not only that, they I mean, to be honest with you, I think Seth had so much going on, to be quite honest with you, in his head, that you couldn't be even thinking clearly. And I think that they did show him the trash truck video, but I don't think that they showed him this Remember, that car video wasn't out yet. With the car lights, it wasn't out yet. Right? We just saw these two lights going like this. Now, does a trash truck light go like in different, and then one goes back? No, doesn't. Sure doesn't. A stranger abduction usually means some, well, yeah. First of all, how would they know to avoid some cameras? Now, I'm not sure if I agree with him on how it comes between the other two houses on the other side. What is the light going back? Is really one of the abductors going to get him? Well, it can't be, because the car had already left. The car was leaving at the time one is about ready to run back. Justin, didn't you say the neighbors behind them have front and back of house cam video? Didn't you say the neighbors behind them? Behind which house? Right. I mean, it's ridiculous that to think that, in my opinion, that this kidnapper leaves, or gets in a car, right? Gets out of the car. One gets out of the car. Two come back. Right? Two come back. And one runs back toward the house. That thing. A kidnapper would pick a random home and take him in a dark. Listen, the likelihood of a male, particularly, his age, and an abduction in the night is so unlikely. Name Elizabeth Smart. That's about it. That's about it. There was a lookout, a faint light on right side of screen. How did the stranger get encoded doors? How did the stranger keep off the front door camera that could be seen across the street? In my opinion, it is obvious. And dogs don't bark. It's ridiculous. All right, guys. I'm going to end it here. Thank you, guys. I got to be up early. Early. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to Jennifer Coffindaffer and the mob crew. Appreciate you guys very much. Morky's quiet with a stranger too. Right. Thank you to mods and members and for everything, and those who donated. Really do appreciate keeping me here. Means a lot. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you guys. You guys are very sweet. Really do appreciate you. Take good care of yourself. I will be Debbie L. Thank you so much for one continuous month, my dear. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, my dear. So I will be back tomorrow, Lord. Oh, yes, birthday. Hold on. Whose birthdays? I meant to say that earlier and we got on something else. Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it. Whose birthdays? Bubble Bath. Who else? Thank you, Marlena. Yeah, Joe Neal. I personally believe Sebastian is deceased. I do. Yeah. I in my opinion, the likelihood even after 72 hours is almost very unlikely. We're at 6 months. And the way that things have transpired, I absolutely, in my opinion, believe he is deceased. Pray to God I'm wrong. Nothing more in the world that I would love to be wrong on. Love to be wrong on it. Please, Lord in heaven, let me be wrong on it. Yeah. But I do believe he's deceased. True crime is unfortunately not rainbows and butterflies. It's just not. It sucks. It's very sad. Okay. Bubble Beth, there's no sign of life. There's been no sign of life. There's been no trace of life. And there is no reason why a child that has supposedly walked out his door didn't leave a scent, isn't on camera. There's no sign of life, not a footprint, not a shoe print, not an article of clothing, nothing. So yes, I just think he's deceased. I do. That's my opinion. I am even in the early, after about a week, even the searchers said, as time goes by, the likelihood of him being found okay is drawing slim. We're at 6 months. Is it more likely that someone has him? Or is it more likely that he will be found somewhere, in nature? It's absolutely statistically way more likely that he will be found in nature. Statistically, it's almost, I mean, someone kidnapping, at least 2 involved and 1 running back to the house, is about none, almost. So yes. Bubble Beth, Lisa, and had hers yesterday. Okay. Okay. This is my rendition of Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. Mr. President. By to John F. Kennedy. No, I'm not putting a wig on. So it's Bubble Beth and Lisa. Anybody else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Have you had a birthday in the last week? Yesterday was mine. Okay, Shelly, Reen. Okay. All right. All right, Shelly and Reen. Bubble Beth, Lisa, Shelly, Reen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bubble Bath, Lisa, Shelly, Reen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bubble Bath, Lisa, Shelly, and Reen. Happy birthday, my dears. God bless you. Many, many more years of health and happiness. About those girls held hostage that broke free. Yep. Yep. And that out of 320 million folks, I can think of 3, 4, I can think of five people in the last 25 years. It's almost none. It's almost none statistically. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Dolly's doing better, thank God. He's doing better. I can name the tune in 4 notes. Yeah. He's doing better. He's doing better. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, Sweet 16, 1-800. That's amazing. That's awesome. All right, guys. Nighty nights. God bless. Good night.